94.5 PST. Did you miss anything with Chris, Joe, and Gianna on Chris and the Crew? Catch up now. This is Chris and the Crew on Demand, sponsored by Trinity Rehab. Schedule an appointment now at trinity-rehab.com. Help me out. It's What Should I Do, Crew, on 94.5 PST.
Yeah, we have Jess here with us. She's one of our listeners, and she is totally annoyed about a post that she saw on her boyfriend's Instagram. Right, Jess?
Well, how would you like it if you spent the whole weekend going on a hayride, going to pick out pumpkins, carving them, and then having him post pictures without you in them? I'm annoyed. I'm trying not to be, but I can't.
Oh, all right, Jess. So, but hold up for a second.
So
who
he
was
posted
in
no
the pictures,
pictures of
right? Like just him. What were these pictures, right? Or was it a picture with a bunch of pumpkins in a field? Like,
yeah, you
what
got to
was going on here?
explain.
I was getting to that. It was him and his daughter. She's 3.
Aw, that's cute. So you guys took her to the pumpkin patch.
Yeah, it was fun. I've only met her a few times because her mother, who's a witch, doesn't like that her father has a new girlfriend.
I love mommy daddy drama like that. Okay, drama.
Yeah, it's always something. But we had a great time, and she likes me. Then I see his post, and I'm not in one picture. Like, none.
You were in, did you posed for a bunch of pictures? Like maybe he posted quick and missed them in his camera roll. Like some parents, they just post pictures of the kids, you know?
I don't know about all that. All I know is that I feel completely slighted. Like, why did I even go if he's not going to admit I was there?
Well, I mean, I'm the king of this. It could be a complete oversight, right? I wouldn't give guys that much credit of thinking this through.
That's why I'm asking you guys before I start a fight with him. Like, I'm not going to be in a relationship where I'm not seen. Like, no way. You know, like, is he ashamed of me?
All right, let's hold up. Let's see what everybody thinks. We're going to put you on hold. We're going to get some advice for you and see what people are thinking, and then we'll let you know what they say, okay?
Yeah, I don't know how to handle this. So,
all right, hang on a sec.
She's mad. So what? I mean, maybe he doesn't want to go Instagram official with her.
It almost seems like they were already Instagram official, or why would she be so mad about this?
Because you and I know that's a big step in a relationship when you go Instagram official.
Yeah. But why would she be so mad if they weren't Instagram officials? Then she would expect this. You know what I'm saying?
You'd think.
All right. What do you think?
What should she do?
I can't help myself.
Call the crew now, 609-243-9778, or tap the chat button on the 94.5 PST app.
It's the crew on 94.5 PST, your number one hit music station. Good morning. It's Chris and Joe this morning. John is off. She went to Sabrina Carpenter last night, partied all night long. So we're doing, we've got Jess with us. She's doing What Should I Do, crew. She's all mad. So she's got this boyfriend who's got a 3-year-old daughter. Says the mom's a witch. Wasn't real happy with the whole situation, doesn't sound like. But she says the little girl likes her. They took her to a pumpkin patch recently, I guess. And she went on Instagram later. He posted a bunch of pictures. None had her in them at all.
Nope.
Just him and his little girl.
Mm-hmm.
So let's go to the phones. She wants some advice. What should she do? She's mad. Nicole in Philly is on the line. Hey, Nicole.
Hi, good morning.
What do you think?
I feel like there's so many questions that are unanswered. 1, how long have they been in a relationship status for? 2, has he posted her before? I'm a very private person when it comes to my relationship status, so he just might be a private person, or they've just been dating for such a small amount of time that maybe he's just not ready to show her off yet.
Well, I think we would have known that, though, right? If she hadn't been posted yet, I don't think this would make her so mad. You know what I mean?
Right. I feel like I just need to know how long, has she been posted before? I don't think it's that big of a deal. I wouldn't see a problem with that.
Okay. We'll tell her. Thanks for calling. All right. Let's go to Tyler in Levittown. Always good to get a guy's perspective.
Hey.
Even though Joe's in the room.
What's going?
Hey, Tyler. What's up? What do you think?
Hey, what's going on, guys? Good morning. Honestly, I think she's overreacting. I mean, sometimes you guys don't need to post everything about all about the relationship. It could be just him and his daughter just hanging out. He might make another post with just everyone at the pumpkin patch.
Okay. He's saying she's just overreacting.
Use that word.
Boy,
yeah.
we girls love to hear that.
Yeah, that's a great phrase to use for a lady, right?
Let's go to Cherie in Princeton. All right, Cherie. What do you think?
I'm gonna take another spin. I think he doesn't want mama drama, because I'm gonna tell you, if you're gonna post a picture of a woman with my 3-year-old, that better be your next wife.
Tough love from Mama Cherie there.
I do see that. And Joe, didn't she say that the mom
yeah.
doesn't like that he has a new girlfriend?
Yeah.
So I think you've got your explanation right there.
Well, but
He's
I also
just trying
think
to keep the peace, I think.
I also think that's why Jess felt so impassioned by it, if that makes sense. You know, why she feels so
she wants to.
Well, because it's adding to the drama right there. I guess she's heard all the advice. We'll get her.
Yeah,
here.
let's bring her on. Hey, Jess.
Hi.
We have a feeling he's trying to avoid mama drama with his ex-girlfriend or wife or whoever she is.
But it's up to you how you handle that.
It's up to you. I would just chill for now. I mean, if there's nothing else wrong in your relationship, like maybe he's just trying to put his daughter first and really wants to keep the peace to kind of protect you too. You know what I mean? But obviously, if it keeps on going, have a talk with him. Say you felt a little hurt and left out and just see what that becomes.
That makes sense. I mean, she's terrible, so I wouldn't want to deal with her either.
Yeah, exactly. So keep the peace, or help him keep the peace, but talk to him about it.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Well, thanks for calling. I hope it gets better for you. Everybody's buzzing about the Menendez brothers again.
Yeah.
It's Chris and Joe. We're the crew this morning. Gianna's out today. So, everybody's watching this Netflix show, Monsters, the Lyle and Eric Menendez story. But did you also hear that they're getting a ton of mail in jail again?
Yes, because now they're fans.
Well, but there's this basketball card. So they're still in a San Diego prison, obviously serving life for the murder of their parents. If you don't know this is the Menendez brothers who spent some time in Princeton.
Yeah.
The family owned that Chuck's Wings on Spring Street. They went to PDS for a while before moving and stuff like that. So they've got a local connection. So I think that's why people, we were at a party Saturday night and people are buzzing about it.
Well, the Netflix doc
totally
is
obsessed with
nationally
it.
a big
Yeah.
deal.
So people are asking for their autographs now because there's a 1990 Mark Jackson basketball card and they're on the card.
Oh, because it's like a picture of him and they're in the crowd,
Yes,
like behind him.
they're in the crowd. So the picture on the card shows, Jackson, who was on the Knicks at the time, like mid-pass, and Lyle and Eric are behind him sitting courtside. And now the timing of it is crazy. This was after the murders, but before they were arrested.
Well, because it was a long time between the murders and
Remember,
the
everybody was
arrest.
saying that they got their money and they were living it up.
They were
living this lavish lifestyle.
One of them came. Now, I have not. The problem is, I admittedly have not sat down and watched the doc, and I will tell you why. I have not sat down and watched the doc because I know, or the Ryan Murphy show, because I know when I do it, I will get hooked into it immediately.
Totally obsessed.
I become obsessed and I go down a wormhole.
Totally
and
obsessed.
I don't have the energy to do something more negative.
Like some people, obviously, people want them out of jail. There's evidence.
Ryan Murphy said in something this week, he thinks they could be out before Christmas now.
Oh my God, crazy.
It's Can't Beat Chris. Can't Beat Chris on 94.5 PST.
All right, my favorite time of the day, right? One, Chris Rollins. It's because I get to watch you squirm and sweat and get nervous. Say good morning.
I don't like to lose.
Say good morning to Eddie in Millstone. Eddie, do you like to lose?
Absolutely not.
No way. Who likes to lose?
I know. Well, Eddie
That's a
signed
dumb
up.
question.
Eddie signed up for a game that's literally called Can't Beat Chris, though. So we'll see, right, Eddie?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Eddie, do you know your pop culture? This is usually like a girl thing, but hey, we'll see what happens. Do you know it?
We're gonna roll the dice. We're gonna roll the dice and see what happens.
All right.
I love that for you, Eddie. All right, as we kick Chris Rollins out, I will tell you the rules of the game. Bye, Chris. Chris leaves the room. She will not hear your answers when she goes into our soundproof studio. When we will ask you 3 questions. When she comes back, she's going to get the same 3, and we'll see who gets more right, okay?
Sounds good.
All right, your quiz starts now. First question. A music superstar is scheduled to host Saturday Night Live this weekend, but she won't be performing as the musical guest on the show. Who is it? I'll give you a hint. This music superstar is preparing for the release of Wicked. Eddie?
I'm here.
All right.
Go Sabrina Carpenter.
Sabrina Carpenter, would you like to lock in Sabrina Carpenter?
Yes.
All right, question number 2. Phillies fans, of course, are still reeling from yesterday's loss, but they're hopeful for a rebound tonight. Meanwhile, the Mets have had a bit of a good luck charm all season with Grimace. What fast chain is Grimace known from?
McDonald's.
Would you like to lock in McDonald's?
Yes.
And third and final question, we're going to play some audio with this. It's Wednesday. That means this iconic TV show is on once again, and it's actually now celebrating its 47th season. I'm going to play the theme song. Name that TV show, Eddie.
I think you got me on this one.
47 seasons. It's been out for a while.
Yeah.
Name a TV show.
Yeah. Let's go Survivor.
Survivor. We're going to lock that in?
Yep.
All right. Can't Be Chris. This morning is powered by Legoland Discovery Center, Philadelphia. Jump into a world of creativity, color, and playful learning. Get info and tickets at philadelphia.legolanddiscoverycenter.com. Hello, Christine Rollins. You're back in the room?
Hello. Yes, I'm here.
And here we go. We're going to start your portion of the quiz now. All right. A music superstar is hosting Saturday Night Live this weekend, but she actually won't be performing on the show as the musical guest. Who is that music superstar? And I'll give you the same hint I gave Eddie. The star is preparing for the release of Wicked.
Oh, it's Ariana Grande.
Would you like to lock in Ariana Grande?
Yes.
Well, okay. Yeah. We usually don't have you lock in, but anyway, I forget the rules around here.
That's fine.
You and Eddie both said Ariana Grande, and you're both correct.
Woo.
So we're off to a 1-1 tie.
Good job, Eddie. Good job.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
All right, question number 2. Phillies fans are still reeling from yesterday's loss, but they're hopeful for a rebound tonight, right? Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, the Mets have had a bit of a good luck charm all season with Grimace. What fast food chain is Grimace known from?
Yeah, a bunch of grimaces were in the crowd last night. McDonald's.
You both said McDonald's, and you're both correct.
Ooh, tie game.
We're going to see here how this ends. Third and final question. It's a Wednesday, and that means an iconic TV show is on once again. It's now celebrating its 47th season. I'm going to play the theme song. I want you to name the show. You ready? What show is that, Chris?
It's an easy one. It's Survivor.
You both said Survivor, and you're both correct.
Wow, look at that. You showed up, Eddie. Good job.
You were doubting me, huh?
I was kind of doubting.
She was a little bit, right?
I have to admit.
For being a good sport, we got you tickets, hopefully, to see Justin Timberlake on Friday night. That show's still scheduled to go on. You can get your tickets right now at Ticketmaster.com for a show at the Wells Fargo Center. Hang on line, Eddie.
Listen tomorrow morning at 7:40 for another chance to beat Chris on 94.5 PST. It's Chris and the Crew's Daily Scoop.
So Diddy's legal team has filed another appeal to try to get him out of jail ASAP pre-trial.
Based on what?
This is the third one. This is the third appeal that they've tried to do this. They've gotten denied each time, so we'll see what happens. But they say insufficient evidence. They say some mistakes have been made, so they want him out ASAP. I don't know. We'll see what happens. So Hailey Bieber, in the meantime, did you see what she posted yesterday? So she posted an old picture of Justin from like back in the day, and he's flipping off the paparazzi with both hands, 2 double-barrel middle fingers, and she captioned it, mood. Now, he's been kind of scrutinized about his relationship, his friendship with Diddy back in the day. So I don't know if it has to do with that, but she's not
certainly
in a good mood.
seeming like, I imagine they're getting a lot of calls, a lot of, knocks on a lot of questions. Yeah.
So, Wicked, the movie, is going to be in theaters in November. We just talked about that in the Can't Be Chris with Ariana Grande. She's gonna be in the
which
Wicked
I did
movie.
make an error. Eddie actually did lose to Chris Rollins today. If you were just listening moments ago, as I told you off air, Chris, because you didn't hear.
The calls started coming up like, what's going on?
I was like, oh yeah, I made a mistake. He said Sabrina Carpenter, but we're still good sports here.
We're going to give him the tickets, yeah. So Wicked, the movie, going to be in theaters in November. Pre-sale for the tickets is going to start today.
Yeah. So if you want to go opening week, like the weekend leading into Thanksgiving, you may want to check today. I think they go on sale at 10 o'clock.
It's going to be huge.
Yeah.
Huge. So sales of those glitter freckles that Taylor wore to Monday Night Football, sales of them up 2,000%.
Because,
since seeing her.
prior to that, there was a real demand for glitter freckles, right?
So funny. So Justin Timberlake let a guy propose to his girlfriend at his New York City show on Monday night. And then what happened? So last night he was supposed to be at the Prudential Center, and our friend Suzanne was there and all of a sudden got a notification that the show had to be postponed. He's got some injury.
Yeah.
Something happened. We don't know what, though.
These are the risks you take when you go to concerts. I mean that like as somebody who goes to a lot of shows. I was supposed to go to Gracie Abrams on Tuesday. That show has been rescheduled. So it's a risk you take.
He said specifically injury.
But
not like his vocal cords. That's not an injury.
But Gracie said a vocal injury and is performing again this weekend. So if she had a real vocal I'm just saying.
Did she say the word
injury? She said vocal injury is what Gracie said. So I don't know.
I don't know.
Maybe the world tour is finally ruined, Justin.
Who knows? Said if you heard the rumors that Kanye and his wife were divorcing, they say no. They were just spotted together in Tokyo just a day after those rumors hit. There's the scoop. If you just missed the cash code, it's 140. 140. All right, enter it right now in the 94.5 PST app. This is your final week to get in on 30 grand in your hand. It's Chris and Joe. It almost wasn't Joe.
Almost wasn't.
This morning.
Yeah.
You're just a mess.
So have you ever lost your keys?
We'll get to me in a second. You tell your story first.
Because this morning I woke up and full. We'll give all the behind the scenes stuff here. The show requires two of us at a bare minimum in the room.
Absolutely.
At 6. When we start at 6, there's got to be at least two of us in the room.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully a little earlier than that, but whatever. And on a day where one of us is off, the other two, so Gianna's off this morning.
Right.
So we had when I rolled in, a little bit of a difficulty with me because I couldn't find my keys for the life of me.
And here's the thing. Joe lives an hour away.
Yeah. So every ticking second is delaying it further.
Every minute in the morning. Where I live kind of closer, much closer to work.
So like Chris could worst case probably call a cab. You know what I mean?
So I wake Joe up in the morning because this is how much of a mess Joe
No,
is.
actually,
you texted me first.
And I said, I'm up. We're good. I'm rolling.
Yep. I'm good. I'm up. You don't have to worry about me.
Which is a check-in buddy system we do.
Yeah.
And
then nothing, radio silence. I asked
Which
him if
is
he
normal.
wanted something from Duncan. No answer. All this stuff. I'm like, oh no, he fell back to sleep. No, you're just looking for your keys.
I couldn't find them for the life of me. Could not find them. I don't have a key.
Should you have one of those? Like we have a little rack
I don't.
inside
I don't
the door.
walk in the house and go, this is where I put my and phone, wallet, and keys. One of them almost always is missing. So this morning was a close call. Chris was ready to call in backups that we don't really have around here. She was like, can someone come join me here?
I was ready to
Chris
call
and the new crew.
Like the guy in the building next door.
She was ready to call former employees at one point. She was like, hey, can you
Hey,
show
he
up?
lives close.
Yeah,
Call him.
she's like, that guy, he hasn't worked here. So I can't be the only one, though, that this kind of thing has ever happened to.
Where did they end up? I didn't even
know what
hear
happened?
the rest of the story. Where
I
were
do
they?
not know. I walked, so I thought maybe I left them in the car. So I walked to the car, which is parked pretty far.
Blocks away.
Blocks
'Cause he
away,
lives
because
in
I'm
the
city. Got to the car, and I was like, okay, well, they're not in the car. I swear to you, after I did that, I walked back into my bedroom. There they were smack. It was as if somebody had just placed them smack in the floor to mess with me.
You need an air tag on them.
Yeah,
Seriously.
I guess that's a good idea.
Some
actually,
people do that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
No, don't you remember the time in our old building? Remember, I lost my keys twice.
I do.
But it kind of wasn't my fault either time. So the first time, one of our coworkers was playing a prank on me and took my keys. And because he knows, when I'm ready to go, I'm ready to go. You know what I mean? I need to go. I think I was going shopping that day or something. So he was being a jerk, took my keys, hid them in the vending machine.
Like the release.
You know, where your chips come down and they fall in the bottom gully there or whatever. Put them in the vending machine so I couldn't find them. I was looking all over the place for them. And then he forgot to tell me that he put them in the vending machine.
And he left.
And he left for the day.
Yeah, he was gone. And Chris was like, oh, where are my keys?
I don't think I've ever been so mad at him.
I have never seen you be that mad in the office.
Joe, don't you remember the time that our engineer, Roy, at the time, accidentally took my keys? So the engineer was in the studio doing work on, the equipment. We got a ton of equipment in here, doing lots of work. And he and I at the time both had the same make of car. We both had a Ford Explorer at the time. And he was one of those guys. You know how some, worker guys, they carabiner their keys to their belt. They've got belt loops for them. So I guess he thought that my keys were his keys
so he just
because
grabbed
they
them.
look the same. So I didn't even realize he did it, but he grabbed my keys and he put them on his belt because he thought they were his keys. So I'm going insane looking around the office for my keys. I am cursing. I've got people looking with me. I'm yelling, "This is not funny. If this is a prank, I need my keys." All of a sudden I walk by him. He's helping me look for the keys. And I'm like, "Oh my God, they're on your belt."
Yeah, he was a nice guy.
I realized he was walking around the building with my keys.
That wasn't an intentional prank.
Yeah, carabinered to his belt. Oh my God. So have you ever lost your keys? Like, have you been going crazy looking for your keys? You got it because he couldn't find his car keys. He even walked blocks. It's Chris and Joe, by the way. We're the crew. Gianna's out today. She went to Sabrina Carpenter last night, so she partied all night long. So Joe lives in Philadelphia. He even walked a couple blocks to his car because, city parking.
Yeah, to think maybe I left him in there.
If his keys were there, like they left him in his car, weren't there, came back to the house, and, it's like somebody placed them down. Obviously, you overlooked them, so you didn't really lose them. You just didn't see them.
Yeah. But it was as if like I was being pranked.
So let's go to the phones because apparently this has happened to Alexis in Southampton. Good morning.
Good morning.
What was your husband, right, Alexis?
Yeah, so it was my husband. He's like Joe, where either his wallet, his phone, his keys, something's always missing. It's just par for the course.
Oh, it's such a mess, Alexis, isn't it? They're such a mess.
It's not that hard.
I know.
Yes, it is.
I know.
So he lost his car keys. He drove an old, I want to say like a 2000 Miata. And last year, he lost his car keys, and we couldn't find them for days. And he actually had a tile on his car keys so that he could find them and GPS track them. It took us over a week to look for his keys, and we finally ended up deciding that he threw them out on accident while working on the car.
Oh, no.
And because it was an old car, in order to get new keys, he actually had to replace the computer system in the car to then get replacement keys for it.
Oh my
God. That had to be an expensive bill, right, Alexis?
It was definitely not the cheapest bill. I was so frustrated. He was frustrated. But after a week, we just determined they were gone. We've never found them. So he absolutely just threw them in the trash.
Now, why didn't the tile work? I don't get it.
It died.
Oh, it's okay.
He doesn't do... Yeah. So it said it was still at our house. But it said it was at our house a week prior. Like, it definitely died. The GPS was no longer working.
Oh.
We couldn't find them.
Alexis,
What a mess.
your husband and I are long lost soul brothers. I promise that much. Thanks for calling. Oh my God, that is such a mean moment.
Oh, that must have been thousands of dollars.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Oh my God, that's an insane lesson. We had a coworker last year who couldn't get to work for a few days because they lost their car keys, except luckily now with fobs, it's a little easier. It's still expensive. I think she told me it cost like $800 at the time. Wow.
So I'm in the app chat, and Nikki and Jackson says this totally happened to her when she was in college once. Couldn't find my keys for the life of her. Searched everywhere. They ended up being right on the kitchen table, just like you said, Joe, that they were almost placed there, and she had gone by there like a million times. Mm-hmm. She thinks she had left them. I think she had lent them to somebody in the apartment complex or something because they had an outdoor, like a door to the outside. You know what I mean?
Gina in Levittown raises a good point. When she lost them one day, she had to run to the bathroom and stuff. And her mom ultimately found them on the washer, but she said she started to cry. It is really frustrating.
It is so stressful.
Because you're panicked. Like when I lost my wallet last year, which I never found, by the way.
Didn't you go back to the bar?
I went back to every bar and stuff. But then I walked into a friend's house and just canceled all my credit cards. I was like, I'm just going to have to deal with this.
And then you cried?
And then I cried. I had a good cry on his couch, yeah.
So how would you like to head into the safari with Uber? This is so crazy. It's Chris and the crew. 8:31. It's Chris and Joe this morning. Gianna's out. She went to see Sabrina Carpenter last night. And
Hoping Sabrina Carpenter's Phillies jersey brings us luck tonight.
You know she partied all night long, so she took the day off. So listen to this. Starting this week, actually, Uber riders in Cape Town, South Africa, are going to be able to book Uber Safari. So they say it's like this limited edition experience.
But where?
They have this Go Anywhere series, not around here, in Africa.
Oh.
So it's available right. This is where it starts to blow my mind. It's available right on the Uber app from now till the end of January. So Uber Safari, they say, is like the perfect day trip for people in Cape Town looking to see the big five. Do you know what the big five are?
Okay.
Lions, elephants, buffalo, cheetahs, and rhinos.
That makes sense. The big five.
And they've partnered with some like private game reserve, one of South Africa's most popular wildlife conservatories or whatever. But here's what sounds like a cool experience, right? Hey, what am I doing on a Sunday afternoon? I'm going to call an Uber to go on a safari. Don't safari drivers, and I'm thinking about like Disney and Six Flags. Those safari drivers seem experienced. You know what I mean?
I think that's why they partnered with an organization, Chris. It's
but
not
the
like
driver. No, but I think that's.
Driver.
No, I think it is.
It is not some local driver driving you through a rhino farm.
Because don't safari drivers need some kind of intel?
I think you've misunderstood this story. I think what they meant is it's basically a partnership with the safari.
I thought it was just some Uber driver just heading out into the wilderness. I don't think your Uber
driver, Bill, is going to roll up and go, all right, not stop until we find a rhino in our
That's what I was thinking.
Honda Civic.
And I thought, man, what did you sign up? I'd be like, well, I didn't sign up for this.
Chris.
All right, maybe I misunderstood.
It's Chris and the Crew's Daily Scoop.
So Diddy's lawyers have filed another appeal. This is the third one, asking for Diddy to be released from jail immediately pre-trial. They say there's insufficient evidence. They say there's mistakes that have been made in the process. They've said no twice already, so I don't know. Let's see how the third time does. So the new issue of Vogue magazine, Billie Eilish says, I wish no one knew anything about my sexuality or anything about my dating life ever, 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 and I hope they never will again. I am never talking about my sexuality ever again, and I'm never talking about who I'm dating ever again. She says she never knew that things would get blown so out of proportion as they have. Interesting. Well, so, Jelly Roll has a new album coming out on Friday. It's called Beautifully Broken. Do you know, this is like another Taylor Swift. We make it a double album. Well, I don't think we're going to, but he says he wrote, Joe, 150 plus songs for this album. And Apple is saying, I looked it up, Apple says there's 22 songs on the album.
Wow.
That's a heck of a lot of songs he's got in the bank.
Some artists now are putting out like 8-9 song albums, you know?
Says he's got a lot of stories to tell. So do you know Carrie Underwood made $1 million every time the theme song from Sunday Night Football played last season? Every time it played. I'm trying to figure this out. Maybe
so what is it, like
30?
No.
I mean, every game?
Yeah, it's only a Sunday night game, so it probably played 17 times. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's a ton
nothing.
of money.
Mm-hmm.
Ton of money. And computer security company, McAfee, they released their annual celebrity hacker hot list. These are the celebs whose names and, likenesses are most used for scams, so you got to be careful. Scarlett Johansson makes the top of this list every single year. Why is that? It's so weird to me.
Where does it come from?
Kylie Jenner is number 2.
Okay, I could see
and
that.
Taylor Swift is number 3.
I could see that.
But every year, Scarlett Johansson is at the top of this list.
I'm not sure why.
It's so bizarre to me.
What is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, there's the scoop. Dua Lipa's new, disgusting drink trend. It's 9:10. It's Chris and the Crew. The crew's just Chris and Joe today. Gianna's off for the day. She went to go see Sabrina Carpenter last night, so partied a little bit. So Dua Lipa was performing at the Austin City Limits Music Festival over the weekend. And before she took the stage, she went out, to get something to eat with her, entourage or whatever. And while she was having her meal, she made this drink, created this drink, posted it on TikTok, and now it's blowing up. So she says basically it's getting a Diet Coke and putting pickle and jalapeno juice in the Diet Coke. Oh my God.
In the video, Chris, she asks her friends if they want to try it. And they're like, one of them was like, it's actually not bad. And the other one was like, this is really pickly.
Ugh. and I kind of like pickles. It's the jalapenos I really can't stand. But pickles in Coke?
So
Ugh.
I went down a wormhole and I looked at a bunch of this like last night. And when I was opening something, like there were a lot of comments, Dua, are you okay? But there was one comment that was asking the exact question I had. How did she discover this? Like, what was she doing in her life? What was Dua Lipa doing in her life?
I think she was just sitting at this restaurant. That's what happened. She said she filled up a cup of soda and then there was pickles on the table. So she put the juice in.
It seemed like this was something she had done before. Like she wanted to show it off to her friends.
I thought it was more impromptu.
No, to me, I watched it and I was like, I think this is something she's like showing off to her friends. Like, you guys want to try this? This is one of my favorite drinks. That's the impression I got watching it. And I was like, so assuming that's the case, that's icky.
That's
very icky, right? Like,
but hey, if you want to try it, she likes it.
This was Chris and the Crew on Demand, sponsored by Trinity Rehab. Schedule an appointment now at trinity-rehab.com. Wake up with Chris and the Crew, weekdays 6 until 10 on your number one hit music station, 94.5 PST.